Hey, what's up traders? This is Dave FX Hunter. In this video, I want to speak a bit about the Bitcoin opportunity, about the world financial situation, about this stupidity, about the coronavirus and what is it probably trying to hide in the reality, which is definitely manipulated by the news and etc. etc. So, first of all, I want to say that I'm definitely not this crypto geek who's expecting to Bitcoin make me rich. But I think this has a potential as a future currency after this. What is probably happening? Maybe it's gonna be now, maybe it's gonna be in the years, but I think that we will probably see the Bitcoin in the higher prices. So maybe everyone should have it as a part of the portfolio. It's of course by the media and by the banks. It's mostly, said that this is the currency of the criminals and etc. etc. But it's mostly said because they can't control it, and but they definitely buying it as well. And I will show you everything right now, so it will helps you to make your own idea about it, or might you will think I'm wrong, but you can make your own decision, of course. So first of all, we all know what is happening in the world currently. We know about this coronavirus fear, which I think it's created by just by the news, because on the typical other diseases, many people is infected by the year, and even more people die than on just this coronavirus. And I think it's created to just hide the financial crisis. Look at this drop on this S&P 100. If we put it to the monthly, we cannot see such a drop in the whole since never. It never dropped so much, and this is, I think, the biggest financial crisis coming right now, because first of all, this coronavirus, yes, it's even worse than the war, because even in the war, when is the war, the economy is still somehow running, and the factories are still something producing, but right now everything is stopped. You can see how weak the economy is if it is just stopping a bit, and what's happening right now. If you look what the banks are trying to do, we can see that the Fed has cut the rates for the maximum what they did in the history. This is what happened on the Sunday. They never cut it such too much the rates to try to stimulate the economy since I don't know when, right? So this is quite crazy. Then next, the following is the Bank of Canada. They cut the rates as well to try to stimulate as well. Bank of England cutting the rates by 0.5. ECB, they keeping the rates on the zero for some time, but they was thinking even to cut it into the negative rates, but they keeping it on the zero, and they announcing buying the bonds, right? So, and then this one, look at this. The Fed has, I'm sorry. So the Fed has injected into the repo facilities, and look how much numbers they have invested in it. They have put inside, they have put inside first 100 billions, then 150, then 170, and they adding into the new month. So they ended in the over 1 trillion repos over 2 days. Okay, so it's like and additional 50. So it's gonna be like overall cumulative. It's gonna be 3 trillion repos in fully allotted. It's crazy, because look how much is it. I mean, they never added so much since the Lehman Brothers in 2008, when was this big financial crisis and the crash. But look at this. All right, so they're trying to save the economy and the things, right? So right, we can see that they're adding so much, but look what happened in the 2008 with the S&P 100. I mean, when you compare what's happening right now, this is a 2008. It's and look what's happening right now. This is fucking nothing. This is nothing. This is something serious. So if we look to the world debt, we can see the most countries are, the debt is still growing in the most of the countries. They're trying to do something but it's not possible. I mean, these things are happening. So as well, if we come back to the charts, in most of the situations when there is a big world crisis, the dollar has always strengthened. And if we look to some currencies, we can just look to the euro. For example, look at this. This is a monthly candle. This is, you can see this huge spike and this huge volume. There was not such a volume in the since 2000, since I have the history here. So there was not such a huge volume, and I think we will see it drop much lower. This is not the end of this situation. This is just the beginning, and might we could see something like this. This could be might possible. The drop all the way down. Why not? Because to here. So this could potentially happen, and I don't see it as a big problem. So this is another opportunity on the currencies. If you look to the pound, you can see this as well. I mean, this is the historical lows. So the things are happening right now, and the world situation is changing. Look at this, another one. I mean, all right, this is the China yuan, but now we have a huge move right now. But this currency is moving a lot. Anyway, I'm going back to the Bitcoin, and here I want to explain what I'm seeing here. So this is a currency, and what is the power of this currency is that this is the decentralized, and actually the banks and the world, they cannot control it, right? So somehow it was living own life in the before these years. I mean 2000, I don't know when it started, something like 2008 or 9, after this world crisis. So it was living its own life in some small below the 1000. Then it started to grow, and the more interest of the trading has come into it, and then the things it has made this 20,000. I know many people who get rich about it, and then it started to drop. And here something happened. And I was actually in that time thinking to buy Bitcoin, and here is where I first bought my Bitcoin. Currently I have 1.2 Bitcoins, and I'm thinking we will go much higher, and I think this is the bottom. And why do I think that is? For one reason, because those who trade with me, I'm watching always the order flow, but it's not possible on the Bitcoin. But look at this. Now something interesting has come. This is the 100. This is a bit info chart. So here is like 100 richest Bitcoin addresses, right? So what do we have here? Here is something like the Bitcoin wallets from the. You can see all the Bitcoin wallets from the Bitfinex, Binance, Bittrex, etc., etc. But if you scroll down, if you go and scroll down, you will see something interesting here. And this is what I remember. I was watching that. This is really strange, because here is this wallets. All these, okay, these ones, they have a little bit more, but these ones, let me take. These ones, look, they all of them have 12,000. These ones have a little bit less. They may be doing it like this. And look at this, when they started to buying. They started to buying all of them in the 2018, similar, something like that. But what was interesting here, and it has changed right now, right? Because in here, they all stopped buying in the last year, in the May, and I will show you in the chart where was that. So they started to buy something somewhere, and this is important. They all had something like 4,000 less. So they all have been like 8,000, something like that. Like those who are on this another page. Let me show. So if we scroll down, here is this. All of these who are 8,000. Look at this. I think this has to be one institutions. There has to be institutions buying these bitcoins. So they know something what we don't know. And tell me who owns all of these? Who owns all of these wallets? 8,000, look. And they all started to buying. I was checking it on the chart, and they all started to buying here on this 2018. Look at this. First time they started to buying 2018 on the December. So it is 2018 December. Here they all started buying in here, and the buying ended in the first April 2019, and then it started to move up. And I remember in that time here was the latest buying date. This is the latest buying date, latest in. You can, if I scroll up, let me. So if I scroll up, this is the latest money in. So they all stopped buying in here. So then the Bitcoin went up, something it was living his own life, you know. Then here the traders started to buy as well because they didn't want to miss this big move to the moon. And then what happened? They fucking drop it down again. So they drop it down again, but look, where is this support? This is the support which they created with this buying. So these big wallets created this support. And now what happened with these ones? Look, they still have this 8K, but they started to add something more. Look, when they started to buy again. 2020 10th March. So 10th March, and it is in, let me bring it to the daily. So here is where they've been buying, right? So here is where they've been buying, and I'm expecting it to drop down again, and they will, maybe it will happen or not, I don't know. I mean I have my average entry around the 6K, so right now I'm like on my, maybe I'm on a 0 currently because I have added more in here. So what's the thing is that they starting to buying again. So this latest in has changed right now, and if you look on those first ones on the top, all of these which I'm suspecting that this is some institutions, they all been buying in here, you see. So someone, and I think that this is some institution, this is not gonna be, you know, I mean, like a normal people like me, you, or whatever, or even some rich people, they have you know, some wallets with some money, but I don't think that this is really weird. Tell me why is here like 1 2 3 from 57 to 81. Maybe all of these are same because it's almost 12K or whatever. But if we speak just about these ones which have this 12K, so it's from 58 to the 73. So it's like almost 20 here with the 12,000 bitcoins. I mean, this is such a big money, 73 billions millions, like, right? And even like 20 times. And if we go to have a look into this second one, look even how much is it in here. So it's like since this wallet, like 8,000 until which is the number 141, and if we go low, it's like a 60 wallets with 8,000 bitcoins. I mean, and the same, look at this, same date when they started to buying, and the same date when they end up the buying. Here is even the same. Look at this. This is even the same second when they stopped buying. So it's like 60 to 8,000. So someone is fucking owning like 500,000 of the bitcoins. I mean, this has to be, this is not for nothing. I mean, someone has invested so much money into it. Here is another ones, you know, I mean, here is another 20 wallets, like, so This is the reason why I think that this is the law and someone is buying it. And I think this world crisis will bring it or even much lower because we all know about this debt. Currencies are getting weak, people stop to believe. This is just the beginning. The coronavirus is not in the top of this culmination. And I think the people will stop to trust in the money and the governments, and this is the time when it comes to the Bitcoin. And the thing is that there is a 20 million of the Bitcoins, but there was a many private keys which has the lost the access. So there is a much less the Bitcoins which you can, which is currently right now. So it's limited, and one day it will be very valued asset for sure, because as the people will stop to believe in the money and the governments, what they will do, they will want to find their own way, and this is what the Bitcoin will bring it. And where I see it in the future, well, I don't want to, as I said, I don't want to be like those geeks or the people who expect something big happen, but if you have to think about it like that, everyone on the world will have to use it as a money. Maybe I don't want to say it, but it maybe could be something like more than 50k per the Bitcoin, even 100k. Like right, all right. So right now I look like those who who may be expecting this, but here's the facts. What is the happening? World is changing, and we see. We will see. I'm definitely owning the Bitcoin, and if it drops even lower here, I will be buying with those who are buying in here. I want to join them, and I think that these people, it's the one institution, and they know something which the most of the most of the people don't know. All right, all right. Bye bye.